welcome to Two Non-Doctors. I'm Liz Mealy.
I'm Maria Shahada.
I feel like you put me in one of those like boyfriend binds
Yeah, I did.
because because right before
You
it
failed.
started, she asked if she looked evil, and I was like,
Yeah.
"But I said you looked pretty."
No, okay, you're telling the story out of order. I
Okay.
got on, you said you look very pretty, and I said, I feel like I look evil. Do I look evil? And you said, when you make that face, which is like my face. Like I wasn't making a face. I'm like, okay, so the eyebrow makeup's too much. But like you didn't then say, so I was like, you could have said you look pretty, not evil, but you were like, I said you look pretty, but it was like it was like void. That first pretty was void. Do you know what I'm saying?
This is why men are stressed out. I
Yeah.
start unprompted told you looked beautiful, and
Okay.
somehow I'm wrong.
You're wrong. You're
I
wrong. And I need to like get rid of some eye makeup or something. I just put on all this makeup because I was like tired. And now I'm like, like I feel like I'm like,
Now you look
kind
like
of,
you hatched a plan. See, you
yeah,
went too far into the other side of the spectrum.
yeah.
No, I don't think you look evil.
All right. Well, thanks. Okay. Ha ha ha! My evil black shirt.
Yeah. And then your guns are out. You're like, "Grr,
Oh well.
how are you? Other than tired, why are you tired?
I don't know. I just am. That's just me.
Just what life is
Um,
now, where you don't sleep well.
yeah. I think so. I don't know. I worked out this morning and then like that always makes me tired, but I think I'm like extra tired, but I don't know if that's just emotional.
Yeah, that's valid. I
I never take a nap. You take naps?
it's interesting. I was a big proponent of naps my whole life. Like, I now think I know I was depressed. Like, you ever meet somebody and they're just like, "What's your favorite thing to do?" And they're like, "Sleep," and you're like, that might be a sign of something deeper because it can't. Not being conscious can't be your favorite thing. You know what I mean? Like that's rough.
I get it though. That's the problem. I'm like, oh right, maybe I'm just depressed. Like, low key.
I mean that's valid. I mean, I truly think I had like I was disassociated and low hum depressed until I was like 30. So I took a lot of naps. I was also so this is what's hard is I think I was depressed and then I also was on birth control, which I think really just fucks your hormones. And I was tired all the time, but I had been on birth control since I was 16. So I legit never knew who I was. Like
Yeah.
there's so much about myself and my body I just didn't know about, both like crying as much as I did or person like I can't even tell you which of it was depression, life and hormones.
Yeah.
But I would say between going off birth control and limiting my sugar intake, like in trying to be healthy, like when I started to eat healthy, everything was at the same time. I don't nap as much unless I take like a 6 a.m. flight and I am wrecked.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't normally nap. And I just had one. Uh, who
Do you feel
knows?
refreshed?
No, I feel worse.
How long was your nap? This is where the science is.
20 minutes.
Yeah, okay. So they say like you have to do it in the right increments, which is so hard because you don't know how quickly you're going to fall asleep. But it's like 20 minutes, 45 minutes, or an hour and a half. Like those are your and then if you're going to do more, you have to complete a cycle. So that's why like alarm clocks are so alarming because you are often woken up not in a cycle. Like I feel very fortunate that unless I have to catch a flight, for the most part, I let my body wake up when it does. And I usually wake up around not between like 9 and like 9:45. But you know, if you time it out and complete a cycle, you'll be less
I hear what you're saying. Yeah, maybe I didn't complete a cycle, but like I gave myself a half an hour and I sort of woke up at the 20-minute mark. It was just like one of those naps where it's just like
You
suddenly
never
there's like a chipmunk like sitting across from you at dinner, like that sort of thing. And that's normal. And then you're just like, oh yeah, so yeah, like I guess we'll have like a nut loaf. And then you kind of come back and then you're like, what? Because you're not fully asleep. I don't know.
No,
Is
but
anyone still with us?
my favorite is you wake up and you're just like, oh my God, my nut loaf. I left it in the oven. Like, so it's like you're in this haze. This seems so normal. And then you wake up with a panic that doesn't make sense. The amount of times this has happened to me throughout my life, which just tells you how important a good outfit is. But I've had a dream about buying a dress, loving this dress, and waking up being like, oh, I'm going to wear my new dress. And like a specific dress and it not there. And just the level of sadness I feel in the real world.
I've had that with money. Do you ever have dreams where you just get a bunch of money and you're like, oh my God, my life is made now. It's totally different. I'm so excited. And then you wake up and you're like, that was dream money.
And then you're just like, I do love being asleep more. I have so much more money in my sleep.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Johnny, because I used to always have anxiety dreams about Johnny cheating on me. And I would wake up and tell him, and he's like, man, Dream Johnny is a stud.
Which is not the right reaction. It's like, well, Dream Johnny really needs to get his priorities straight. And he was like, what was he wearing? What did he say? What did he say to that girl?
Why is he pulling all these women? What's going on?
So he looks just like this, but is he smoking a cigar? Like, what is he doing differently?
Oh, Johnny looked so cool this morning because he had a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. He was tying his shoes and the sun was kind of coming in. And like, the cigarette wasn't lit or anything, but I was like, sorry, I know you're in because he was in a mood, like, because he had to go to work and he was in a hurry. And I was like, I know you're in a hurry, but you look so cool right now. And he's so cool, he didn't even, like, take that compliment.
He looks over and he's like, yeah, this is who I am. And you're like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Like, you're just so cool.
Okay. Me telling you look cool is actually you're right. You should cheat on me in your dreams. I'm sorry.
Being with me makes you less cool. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
All right. I'm trying to think. I am like, oh, you feel like you're having an epiphany right now.
No, there's no epiphany. I was trying to remember one I wanted to bring up with you, but I do remember, and it's like, ugh. It's not about me. It's like about the news. But what were you going to say?
Not important. Let's hear it.
No, it's just, okay. Like, New Yorkers don't die on the subway.
Dude, you know what's so funny is I read that. We'll tell him in a second. I read that and I was like, I can't talk to anybody about this. And then Evan read it last night, like a day later. And he's like, what? And I was like, yeah, I've already read that.
That's so funny. Because I was talking to Johnny, I was like, it's too grim to talk about, but I have to ask you something. And then, so Johnny's bracing himself. And I'm like, no. It's not. But what were you going to say? Sorry.
Well, we have to tell everybody. So if you don't know, they caught somebody having sex with a dead person, I think on the R train in New York. From what I've gathered from the news is that the homeless person was already dead. They didn't kill him. They were just already dead. They died. Let's say they died at 8 a.m. This person found them at 11, had sex with them.
It was 11 in the morning?
Yeah, it was like not an early time. First of all, I mean, just so you know, what Evan gathered was that this human has been dead. Terrible. This human has been dead for hours on the subway. Nobody noticed. Then the one guy that notices was like, mine now, which is, and then he was caught in security camera having sex with a dead person. Like, everything about it is just so awful. And like,
So he wasn't the first person to notice. Like, I don't know. There was a lady who came and like robbed the guy, kind of. She took some stuff off of this dead man. I don't know if she knew he was dead or if she was just like, well, he's passed out. So she took a little bit. Then this guy comes, takes a little bit more, and then he goes, I don't know.
I have an idea.
My necrophilia tendencies have never been able to come to fruition until like, here's my opportunity.
Yeah. He's like, guys, you only get one chance.
Which you wouldn't think would be a rule, but like, um, because like full name and like full picture, like you, like it's so. I just wondered if he has friends and family. I wonder if they're like, dude, what did you do? What?
But like, we know there's cameras on the subway. Like, I just don't think this guy's in his right head that he's. I don't know if he just got so excited, but like, I don't think he was thinking about friends and family.
I just feel really bad for the deceased person, as
For multiple reasons.
for multiple reasons, but also the family. Like, could you imagine like cops come to your house and they're like, "Well, I'm sorry to inform you that your relative has passed away," and they're like, "Oh my God!" And then they're like, "Also, they were robbed," and they're like, "Oh my God!" And then we have some bad news for you.
And they're like, I thought we did it. We did all of it.
Right.
We've reached the pinnacle of bad news.
Yeah, no. Yeah, he's dead. He was robbed. Now comes the bad news. That wasn't the bad news.
And here's the third thing.
I didn't know this was a listicle article. The third thing will surprise you.
Yeah. You'll never guess what the third thing is. Yeah, no, it's horrific. You know what's interesting is like that the news is so chaotic and so rapid fire bad news that like this is like how there's like not news. I mean, it's news, but like if somebody gets pushed on the subway, I'm not saying that's not news, but it's like that's like local New York City, it happens news. And then people talk about it for a bit and it moves on. But we don't have any of that. Like, it's like truly that was like a tweet and then everybody moved on because everybody's losing their rights and everything is chaos here. But I remember when that was new, like the main news in New York City. Like, that would be the news for like a month in New York City if that happened 8 years ago.
Oh, were you saying there's no news anymore? I'm sorry.
I'm just saying that this would be in the news forever. Like, everybody on the subway would be talking about it. Like, it would.
Oh. Is everyone over it already?
Yeah, pretty much.
God.
I also think everything gets buried. Like, there's too much to pay attention to at any given moment. There's like 80 things happening right now that is devastating, and you only have the energy for like 3.
Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. So don't die on the subway, everyone.
I mean, also the subway is like a place where you have to be like on guard when you're alive.
Yeah. You're just constantly batting people.
Guys, this is my stop. I don't know. I think what's hard, this has always been difficult, is, the news that comes out of New York City is our most tragic news. I think everywhere it's your most tragic news, but it's always about the subway. It's always the most fucked up thing. And it's like, have I seen fucked up things on the subway? Sure. Have I experienced fucked up things on the subway? Sure. But it isn't, the news, like anything, makes it seem like it's like, just another day in New York City. This happens all the time.
It does. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, whenever something happens in the news, it's like, oh, it's just like a month ago when this happened, and then another month ago when this happened, and then just like lists everything that's ever happened in New York. And then you're like, what do we go to America for? Why is there so much tourism?
Yeah, well, that's also, I think we're going to lose, I think we are already losing a lot of tourism, but I think we're also going to lose, when I did that cruise gig, I was talking to a woman, she was Canadian, and her and her husband were thinking, they would go to Florida all the time, and they were thinking about buying a home in Florida, and they're not going to do it now. And so I think also this idea of not only us being like a destination and a place to visit, but also like a place people want to be and spend their money. Like we're like, I think everybody knows this, but we're just like hemorrhaging money and goodwill. Like,
Yeah.
like everything, you know how they say like it takes months to years to build up muscle and you can lose it in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Like that's what it just feels like. We've been working so hard since World War II. I mean, we've made tons of mistakes and been assholes in other ways constantly. But like, we were like, here's some AIDS medication. Hey guys, come over here if you want to get an education. Like we were doing like things. We were trying.
Well,
New York City, greatest city in the world, and now everybody's like, nah, nah.
I know, but it'll come back. And muscle memory, right? It'll come back and it'll come back strong. And now would be a good time to buy a house, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. Okay, so I remember during the pandemic, people are like, New York City's over, New York City's dead. No one, it's never going to come back. And I was like, that's ridiculous. Like, millions of people live here, and nobody's just going to throw New York City away because, it'll get contained, right? We were the epicenter. It'll get contained. Things will get figured out. And that's exactly what happened. It took a little while, But unless we completely push this away and revamp it, like think of Germany, like after World War II, like you can't, I mean, things are kind of changing right now, but like it was like you couldn't do the Nazi salute. You couldn't say anything about being a Nazi. Like it was like they worked so hard to push this bad history away and rebuild and not be the evil villains that they were. And it took years, obviously, but like America, we are so erratic right now, and since Trump 8 years ago have been erratic, and this is truly the worst it's been in a while, that like if we continue down this path even longer than 4 years, I mean, already all our people are like, nobody wants to be dependent on us anymore because we're not reliable anymore. Like think of us as a human. Like if I was your best friend, let's just imagine it. I was your best friend.
Okay, it's getting a little crazy, but go on.
And I was always there for you. You needed money, I lent it to you. You needed a place to stay, you stayed with me.
I have no idea how you want me to imagine all this.
You wanted to hang out, I was there for you. And then you come back and I go, hey, you can't stay here. Hey, I can't lend you any money. You actually owe me money. Oh, I don't actually want to hang out with you. And you know what I mean? And all of a sudden you're like, somebody's like, hey, isn't Maria one of your closest friends? You're like, I don't know anymore. Like you are going to find other people to take care of you. You're going to find other people, and you're never going to trust. I mean, this is like therapy 101 for humans. And I can't even imagine what it is on a global level when people's, we're dependent on Canada for gas. We're dependent on, we're dependent on everybody for everything. But like, I'm just saying, like, it makes sense to me that the EU is like, hey, this was working for us, but if this is how it's going to be for the next 4 years, let alone forever, let's not risk it.
Yeah, I get that. I don't know why you had to have such a hurtful analogy, but yeah. Really sad.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah,
in this analogy, I need someone to take care of me. I'm like, why am I not taking care of myself? What is going on here?
This is only when you come to visit New York. The same way when I come to London, I'm just like, it was so funny. 2 different people in the last week were like, oh, when you're in London, where do you stay? And I was like, Maria's. I was like, you don't have a Maria? Why don't you have a Maria? Go get yourself a Maria. What are you doing?
Is that what people are hinting at when they contact me?
Yeah. They're just like, what's your situation?
I've got a Liz room and a Liz room only. Sorry.
Yeah, dude. Sorry, bro. Yeah, I don't know. And I'm scared on the other, like, so there was a comic reaching out to me about, like, she has like a whole European tour, and she's like, my manager was supposed to take care of it, and I don't think she did. So I was just trying to let her know about, like, the worker's permit that she should get and a bunch of other stuff. I was like, I've heard people not get the work permit. I literally was like, hey, you do you, but I never risked not getting a work permit in the UK, even when I was making like 12 pounds. But now that people don't like us and are trying to, I was like, I would not risk doing anything you're not supposed to do in this climate. I think it's idiotic. And so so she's like, she asked me twice and I was like, hey, I don't like, and she's a comic I don't know that well. But I was like, you can do whatever you want. I'm saying I would not, in what is happening right now, take any risks going across the border when you have a full like 2-week tour in Europe and you can't get in. So,
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm trying to get a UK license so that I can get a car here.
oh, nice.
And yeah, because I can get one with a US license, but like the car insurance would be really expensive. So, but then, I'm taking these practice tests, and there's questions like, what should you do when a person herding sheep asks you to stop?
Oh my God, is it multiple choice? I want to know all the answers.
The first one's my favorite, and I chose it. It was wrong. First one, ignore them as they have no authority.
Did you really choose that, Maria?
This is a practice test.
Oh, but did you believe it?
No, I didn't believe it.
Okay.
You'd have to be a moron to not pass this sort of thing. Stop and switch off your engine. Continue on, but drive slowly. Try to get past quickly.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Do you know the answer?
Was it 2, the one where you stop and turn off your engine?
That's the one.
Yeah, you don't want to scare the little sheeps.
I'm definitely not taking a driver's test in New York.
Yeah. If you want the New York answer, it's absolutely number 4. It's absolutely D. But I was trying to put myself in your place in the countryside of Britain.
You just got to know the answer that'll get you the license, then you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, of course. I remember being 18. No, probably 17, because Ashley was the first one to get her license. She's like 6 months older than everybody else. But I remember driving with her, and it was a 4-way stop, and I had just taken like my test, like my written test, and it's like whoever's there first, and then it goes in order. So I remember Ashley being like, I go first. It's always I go first. And I was like, ha, 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 ha. But that's how she drove. It was always like, I didn't want to learn, I go first. And I was like, I can't tell you how many times, like even as a 17-year-old, my dad was always like, I don't really like you driving with other teenagers. And I was like, you're not wrong. Like my friends aren't. And then I remember Amanda, she was over and she was telling some story about how she got out of a speeding ticket. And my dad was like, wait, what did you say? And she goes, well, I was always told that the speed limit was a suggestion. And he was like, what? And she goes, I just told that to the police officer. He's like, it's not a suggestion.
No.
Those are rules.
Have you thought about going 25?
Yeah. Just, hey, be careful. We're thinking about your safety. And she's like, 55 or nothing.
You
those
do
are,
you.
Yeah. Live your best life. Yep. And those are the teenagers I surrounded myself by.
Yeah.
Oh,
I remember getting into a rear end accident when my friend was driving, and it was just kind of thrilling because I was like, I saw it careening into the car in front of us, but I was like, it's not my car. Like that was the only thought I had.
You guys,
we rear-ended someone. She was driving, and I was just like, I was kind of like smiling as we hit because this is not my car. There was like no, like I didn't. It's just like when you're at a restaurant and then like something spills over or whatever. But you're like your instinct is to get up and pick it up, but you're like, well, I don't work here. Okay, and then it makes me sound like a bad person. Anyway,
was she not paying attention and you were? That's so. I would be so
I
scared.
don't know what she was doing. I don't know, because it was just like one of those things where you're like, oh, we're going right into the back of this car.
This is obvious that we are going to meet this
I
man.
think they probably stopped short. There was no time for her to. to stop. I mean, we weren't going that fast, you know? Like, so it's not like, but I didn't have time to react. I was just like, ah, here we go.
Not my problem. You want to get into announcements?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody, I'm on tour. I have a whole kind of California thing, so I'll be in Sunnyvale, California for like 4 shows, I think. And then I'm in San Diego. I'm in LA. In the beginning of May, I'll be in Salt Lake City, and then somewhere in May, I'm in Albuquerque. But
When are you
everything
in
is.
LA?
I am in LA April 30th. I'm almost positive. What was that sound?
I don't know, because I was thinking about going to LA in May. But,
I'm going to be there for a hot minute. I will not be there very long, but
well then, yeah.
I support whatever you do, though, regardless.
Thank you. Thanks. Anyway, I'm not going to LA. But it was a thought I had, and I was like, well, this actually might work out perfectly. Yeah.
Serendipitously.
Yeah.
What about you? You're going to Sweden?
I'm going to Sweden. I'm going to Uppsala and Stockholm, 25th and 26th. And then kicking around London. I'm doing Camden Fringe at the end of July, but I'll need to talk about that later. Follow me on YouTube because I'd like to bring those numbers up. I swear to God I'll post. I swear. It's Maria Shahada on YouTube. Thanks for all the comments, like all the condolences everyone sent. That was really nice to read. I appreciate that. Follow us.
Yeah.
Twitter? No.
Blue Sky.
Look, yeah, Blue Sky. Look, it's all at number 2 non-full word doctors, except for Instagram, where it's the number 2 non-DRS.
Yeah. And thanks to all our patrons on Patreon. We appreciate you. I sent out some stickers recently. And yeah, we're doing it.
Great.
Google's?
Yeah.
Mine's silly. It's always silly. So I think I talked about it. I took the cats to the vet. I always, did I tell you that Lunch got sick from his vaccine?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was fine. I mean, now we just know. But anyway, I did tell him the 2 things I'm worried about is Lunch has lost weight, which is good. He needs to lose weight, but I've done nothing to facilitate.
No, you want
that.
it to be for you don't want it to be for unknown reasons.
Yeah. It's always like scary when somebody's like you're like, oh, you lost weight, and they're just like, oh, I wasn't trying, and you're like, oh, that's a doctor's appointment. That's not like it shouldn't just happen like that. Like you should try. It's hard for everybody. So, but he says he's fine, and the other thing is that Lunch goes through like food revolts. Like the reason I can't board them anymore is he gets so sad being boarded that he won't eat for like a week. So he if he had like his stomach was upset, he felt better, and it still took a couple of days for him to eat normal. So I think, he's a little being, he has all these food revolts. Anyway, differently, I've been trying to get my cats to sleep. It wasn't working out. I finally have given in and been like, you know what? It's not working closing the door. I have good days and I have bad days. I'm going to let them in, but they need to sleep the whole night. So the doctor gave me CBD oil for the cats, and they hate it. They hate it. They hate it so much.
But
and
like you drop it into their mouth?
Yeah, it's like a trinket, and it's like 0.5 milligrams, which is pretty big. I'm doing I would say that's like a little over an inch of liquid. And he's like, it's beef flavored. And my mom, I just talked to my mom about it. She's like, beef flavored is the worst one. It is disgusting. She's like, we all tried it. They hate it. But the other thing is that I think it needs to be in their system for like a couple of days. So before bed, squeeze some of it in. Ghost avoids me. I mean, that's half of how I'm getting sleep. Ghost avoids me for like an hour. He's like, you're an evil woman. I feel I hate it so much. Lunch is a little bit like, this tastes bad. Ghost, I'm not even joking. He's hiding behind the corner and he's giving me the stare while drooling. He's like, I hate this. So anyway, I did it for like a week straight, but then I was like, oh, maybe I'll put it in their food. and they won't know. I wish I recorded it. It was so comical. I put it in both their food. I put their food down. Keep in mind, Ghost has never not finished a meal in his life. They both start eating. They both look up at me like, are you trying to poison us? They switch sides, both start eating each other's bowls, then look at each other, then look back at me, then switch bowls again, eat a little more, and then walk away.
Wow.
They were like, yo, girl, this is gross. And then I didn't give them any more food. I think both of them ate a little bit more, and then somebody threw up all of it. Somebody was like, this is nasty. Regardless, I Googled, does CBD do anything for cats? And so it's like, yes, it does when used appropriately and under the guidance of a veterinarian. I love that. It's derived from a cannabis plant. It has low THC, safe for cats, and it says it may help with stress, pain, anxiety, and support overall well-being. I don't like that. I feel like that's vague. I just don't feel like it might be the thing that they need. Maybe I was causing them stress by shutting the door. The one thing that makes me feel better is both the veterinarian and the internet is like they cannot overdose on it. Like there's no way to have. They basically said the only thing that could happen is they get like a little bit of an upset stomach from higher doses, which I'm just not going to do. I did it for a week. Now I'm going to do the week where I don't do it to see if it's made any difference, because I think the hard part is it's such a traumatic event before bed for all of us that it just right now it's not weighing out the benefits. But I did have them. Also, I bought 12. You could probably hear it. Ghost was playing with it, but like Ghost loves the really cheap mice. They're like truly made with like some felt and plastic, and then there's some stuff in the thing. I bought 12 of them, and I literally threw them around the house. And then throughout the day, I just pick it up and throw it, and he'll come out of nowhere and just start playing with it. So I'm just trying to exhaust them as much as possible by playing with them all day. And we've had 2 good night sleeps.
Well, what happened to the birds on YouTube?
It'll help a little bit. Like it helps me get into bed because they're super distracted and they're like, whatever. But like they'll have a moment after an hour and be like, hey, where's mom? Like,
we always felt bad because like me and Johnny, when we stayed there, when we were going to bed, they were already chill. And then we would put the birds on and they were like, and we felt bad because they were doing fine. And then it's like, now they're alert.
Which is kind of good because, like, I do try to, like, what happens is I feed them at 8, and then they're like, thank you so much, and then they want to go to bed, and I've been actually trying to keep them awake after dinner so that they're tired when I'm tired. So that's because, like, that's where I really feel bad, is they're just, like, I feel like I read somewhere that the clock is, like, eat, bath, play, sleep. I don't know. I feel like I'm getting closer. I'm learning. Me and my cats are learning. I just feel like this is going to be every episode till the end of time where I'm just like, we're so close to me sleeping. We started this out with like, you're like, I'm tired. And I'm just like, I got 3 hours. I'm really proud. But yeah. So CBD oil, I'll keep everybody in the loop. Right now, I'm making too many changes to know, but it is disgusting.
I mean, yeah. Good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
They were like dreams for me, so I just like don't even know.
Yeah, well, I'm obviously the problem.
All right, mine was kind of dumb. I Googled whether or not olive oil, if it's heated really high, if it's carcinogenic.
I think that's a good Google.
Because, yeah, I just always thought that. I don't know why. You know when you hear something and you just lock it in and then the Y's just get deleted, but you're like, olive oil at a high temperature is carcinogenic. And so you put that away and then somebody goes, why? And then you go, well, I have the folder here. There's no evidence to support why I think this.
I just know it.
It is. So I Googled that, and it's not. It's actually a stable oil, which, and I guess stable means like the molecules or something are like really like strongly attached to each other. So even if you cook it at a high temperature, it's okay. What there was like one thing that was like, well, it's not as good, but I can't remember what it was. But they're like the ones you want to avoid doing that because it's not unheard of for an oil to do that. It's just olive oil is okay. The ones that I'm so blind. I'm like, am I need my glasses? I'm so like such an old person. Hold on. Excuse me. Just
Oh, but you look so cute.
thank you. Okay. Right. So okay, with that in mind, the context of today's article. Oh shit, where'd it go? Oh, here it is. Um, there are oils with polyunsaturated fats, like soybean, corn, canola, sunflower, and safflower. They're unstable fats. They're not bound together tightly at all. Because they're unstable, they can produce higher levels of free radicals when they're heated. And as we've said before, according to this article, but I didn't read the before, we don't want too many free radicals in our body.
Yeah, I mean, I started kind of one of the first things when I started to get healthy or eat healthier is they started talking about good and bad oils. And I mean, I've always heard that at a certain level certain oils become rancid. Like they become like dead. That's like the simple way of putting it, and that it turns into like what you were saying. So that I've always heard that like olive oil, I think avocado oil and coconut oil are like some of the better ones to cook with, as well as butter. Like weirdly enough,
Yeah.
ghee is another one. But then there's also oils that like if you don't heat them up, if you like drizzle them, you know what I mean? Like olive oil, if you just like drizzle it on a salad or whatever, is so good for you. Like, but yeah, I've been cooking with olive oil pretty consistently because of that. But that's like one of the dangers of like if you eat out, they're not. They're absolutely not. And like
Yeah.
fried food, that's one of the reasons fried food is really bad.
Okay. Yeah. Um, I don't think you need to cook at that high of a heat anyway for much. It's just my housemate cooks. It just reeks of olive oil in the house. Hi for listening, but like olive oil in the house, and it's just because she cooks it at such a high temperature and it smells burnt. And the smell really gets to me. It gets in my nose and it gets in my hair and stuff, and I can't stand it. And I want to be like, you shouldn't do that. It'll cause you cancer, but it doesn't. So it's just you shouldn't do that because I don't like it.
Yeah, I love how this was just because you wanted a why that really supported you, and then you
Yeah.
didn't get it.
I wanted a why that supported her. And I feel like I'm doing this for you, even though everyone can see through that. But I didn't get it.
I'm sorry to hear. I'm sorry for your loss.
That's all right. Thank you.
Yeah. Next week. See you.
Yeah.
See you guys next week.
See y'all next week.
All right. Bye.
Bye.